On Saturday evening, I encountered an unfortunate incident which I have never met in my life. That I had fueled my vehicle at Ruby's. Ruby's, the one which is opposite Makerere College. And I realized I had forgotten some stickers which were being printed at NASA. So I called the printer to bring them, and he said, in 20 minutes I will be there. I pulled out the car from the fuel pumps and drove to a parking lot to wait for 20 minutes because I wanted to set off and go to the village. Immediately, I think I had settled in like for few minutes, like 3 or 4 in that parking lot. I opened the door to buy some maize. I love maize, eating maize from a vendor who had come. And indeed, as I had finished buying it, as I was eating, a group of armed men came and grabbed my hand, this right hand, which had the maize cob. Now, this one was still free, so I jumped up and held there is a holder of the door, on the door of the driver, up. I held it strongly, so they started pulling me. The 4 could not manage to pull me, and I think one decided to go and use the other door to push me. Then the other group of army men realized these 4, the struggle was taking long. They also came out of the van, the drone, and struggled with me, pulled me out of the car, then drove me to their vehicle. I dragged me to their vehicle, and I put my hand up, held my on the drone. Then I resisted entering. They hit me badly. This side, you see this hand, it's feeling the jacket, but it's very, very swollen. They hit me here. They hit me on the head. Then because they were hitting the head, as I was doing this, now I surrendered like to them. So they pulled me inside, and immediately they put me inside. They got a cloth, covered my face, and when they covered my face, they pushed my head down in the chairs and started beating, driving away from the scene, and we drove for I think for a longer distance, in my own opinion, because I did not know where we were going. They would only say, you are Mudomo today, we are going to take it, because I was shouting at them, stop beating me. Tunapiga wewe kwa mdomo yake. What is the problem? Me, I don't own guns. Why would you beat me? Because of speaking. Ona piga kelele mingi. So they started doing everything inside until some guy who I think had commanded them told them to stop beating me. They drove me to an unknown place. We reached that particular place because I was hooded. They removed me from the car, dragged me, took me to a house, then a particular room which they opened and then closed. When they closed, because I had put him on handcuffs, I sat down, and in the process, I opened to see where because they had closed, opened this thing which they had put on like this to see where I was. Then I was able to see that I was in a kitchen, which a room which used to act like a kitchen. I saw broken wood and a work table for kitchen made out of terrazzo. They had broken it. I think that room, other than me being put there, it had been used, and there was a lot of struggle. And later on, I read some inscription on a room. I think somebody who had been put there had written that to some people, life is not for everyone. Those words spoke a lot of course I was traumatized. They had taken away my shoes. Of course, they had removed them. They threw them away, I think, in the struggle. They removed them in the struggle at Ruby's. My trousers had been torn completely. I was like restless. But I checked, I still had my rosary in the pocket. So, and I pulled it out. I started praying, continued praying. Then they came to say they want to give me dinner. I told them, no, I don't want your food. I ate lunch. Then I kept there. It became dark. Then I knew now I am in their hands. In their hands is to comply to whatever they tell me. I kept with my handcuffs there. Then around, I think, midnight, there is a guy who came, huge, because when they were coming in, I was able to see. They were hooded. Then they said, check whether the hood is still on very well. Then this guy had not actually seen that I had tried to create some seeing space in it. Yeah? So he said, no, he's hooded. So this guy came in with heavy escorts. He banged my head. Yo, why are you talking too much? Why don't you support the son of the president? I said, you don't need to beat me up like this. I support the president. I have been supporting the president for so many years, and which is very, very true. Very, very true. 100%. From the time he started elective politics with the same Ogerere, I went as far as Kamuli. I was a small boy. I went as far as Kamuli to campaign for President Museveni in Kamuli. In Kamuli, we passed Palisa, all that area with the how do they call it? Is a Muganda man, a soldier, Kakoza Mutali's group. We campaigned and this man won an election. I have been campaigning for, I told them, you are beating me for what? And no, you cannot love the father and you don't love the son. I said, for God's sake, this is an old man. He wanted to stand against his father. According to me, his father is qualitatively a better candidate. I had to speak for my candidate. So if I annoyed him, he would have called me. Honorable, come here. We talk over this. Then I would listen to him. But to grab me in this form, and you also come here to beat me up, it is unacceptable. And I don't think that this is how the politics of this country should be fashioned. He should copy the style of his father. And that's what I was telling this man. And I was shouting up on my voice. Then he was saying, talk slowly. But you are beating me. Talk slowly. So I came down. So we started discussing. With that man, the one who had come, but he was hooded. So now I came to learn why I had been arrested. Or why I had been kidnapped. And now I was in that state. In that state. Then he said, tomorrow we are going to talk to Mohozi. Then we arrange, you meet him, you discuss your differences and solve them. I said that is a better way of dealing with issues. Me, I'm a politician. I am not an army man. Anything that I do, I speak. I speak. For an army man can keep quiet and open his gun, the barrel of his gun. Me, I am not like that. The best I can do, I showed him his rosary, is to pray for you. But persistently for me, I earn by talking as a member of parliament or as an advocate of the High Court. So to say I am talking too much, it is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. He said, okay, we will discuss that. So that one went away. But before he left, he told these guys whom he was leaving me with to remove the handcuffs from me. Two, I saw them bringing a small mattress. It is for army. The one they normally carry on the head, on the back. A bed sheet of the army and a mosquito net. Because there are very, very many mosquitoes. I think I was near the lake. Either near swamps, something like that. But I did not hear frogs. But the mosquitoes were very, very many. Were very many. So I slept. In the morning, I was, because of the beatings and other things, I was feeling a lot of chest pain, a lot of fever. Then they opened to give me breakfast. Breakfast, I told them, I don't need breakfast, I need a doctor. I need medication. Then they moved around, brought somebody who gave me drugs. Drugs, they said they have diclofenac. Indeed, it was, they gave me 3 tablets, which were sealed, because I was now asking myself, are they going, because I asked them, can't you bring my doctor? I told them the names of the doctor. They said, no, we don't have that permission. That man, other man, whom I had, who before he left, he said he's called Shaban. So I kept telling them, can't you call Afande Shaban to at least call this doctor of mine from Mulago Kawempe, and he comes and treats me. They said, we are going to do that. But they insisted I must drink their porridge. This guy who was mean-looking, with hoods around him, with a long beard like this, with very red eyes, holding a cable, a wire cable. I knew the next time he was going to hit me, because already I was having swollen wound here. This side, but the back is I'm in total pain. Touching the head, I have a cut here. I said, this man, if he returns to beating me. So he said, you drink. I drank half of the porridge. I don't know why he was forcing me to drink that porridge, what was in it. God will tell, or time will tell what was in it. Then after that breakfast, there is another person who came. He talked to me, I think he was not very senior, and started, pour down, honorable. He did not beat me. He did not beat me. Save for the one who came at night, is the one who banged me. Then this one went. After lunch, there was a guy who came in, and was in Ireya, but also hooded. Hooded, talked to me about the issues of Mohozi. I said, yes, Mohozi, if you want, I actually said, if you want him to be a head of state, let the father sit with him and tell him so many things. Because if he has not learned these things, I told that man, I said, he's not the best candidate for us to field as NRM after President Museveni. He would be a better candidate before Amin. Before Amin, not after President Museveni. And I insisted, you people, you are saying you are teaching people Runyankole. You are teaching people Runyankole by bringing people like Eddie Mutwe here. Do you know what you are communicating to the world? That all the Banyankole should be targeted, including Barnabas Yuze Muchiga. Because these people, after you, they can't distinguish when I speak Ruchiga, whether it is not a Runyankole or a Ruchiga. They will just bang my head. I was pleading with these people, stop torturing people. After lunch, of course it was evening, I went to sleep. I prepared my bed to sleep. I slept. Then at night, towards midnight, I suspect, because when you estimate the time, it was midnight. The guy, another one, heavily guarded, came in with hoods. With hoods. Then they said, cover him. Of course, when I start hearing them coming, I had learned that now the hood which they had given me was part of my uniform. I would cover it. I would put it on the head. Whether it is covering the eyes or not, it is them now to. If they would not insist that they tie it again, I would leave it there and also see what is going on. This guy said, I have come to to release you. I said, at night, where are you taking me? Why don't you release me during the day? During the day. I have been sleeping. It will be morning. I said, no, I'm going to drive you at your home. I said, okay, thank you very much. But of course, I knew even when I was giving my opinion, it was not mattering. So it would not matter. He had come, he had to take me wherever he wanted. So he said, dress up. As I was dressing up, he said, we are releasing you on 3 conditions. 1, you should stop talking about Muhoozi and think about supporting him. 2, you should, as you go outside, please do not reveal where you have been. 3, I have not told you where I was because I did not know. No, in the kitchen, yes. I was in the kitchen. In the kitchen, there were no saucepans. It was an abandoned place. Then the 3rd one, they said, we have your telephone number. We are going to arrange a meeting with you since you are interested in talking. You talk with Muhoozi directly. I said that's very perfect. I would have an opportunity not to be arrested. That's what I told the man. But the issues of not talking, I said, that may be difficult because me, as a member of parliament, I am voted to come to the house to speak. Parliament comes from a French word called parler. Parler means to speak. I told him, issues of not explaining, how will I explain where I have been? I didn't bring myself here. I was going to my constituency, I had filled my vehicle. I am in this place. For 2 days, I am sure my family is worried. My voters are worried because they were in the field. My chief campaign manager was in the field and he expected me to have arrived. How will I explain this? But nevertheless, I accepted the again tied properly. This time, so many folds of that cloth. Tied properly, you do not see anything. They held my hands like this, dragged me to a waiting vehicle because I would hear it sounding. A running car, you would hear it. Then finally, they said, step here. I stepped. I realized I was again in a drone. Whether it was the other one or not, I don't know. Because next to where I was seated, this other side was a soldier, and this other side was another soldier. So it must be a kamunye or a drone. Then behind, because as I entered, they put my head down in the chair. Then they started counting themselves. 1, 7, 8. They were 12 people in the kamunye, in the drone. I'm a man. They drove me, I was worried. Are they taking me to Karamoja? Am I in Karamoja? But of course, the VIPs in Karamoja, they are very few. So I was stronger that I am either in Buganda or in Kampala. So now they drove me, and the distance took long. So I knew either I am going to be dumped in Kamuli because we were going on harps. And you know, I had been beaten. The pain was still very strong. I had not taken big painkillers. I was really in pain. In pain every time they would hit a hump, I would feel it. Finally, we reached a particular place on a hill where they got me out of the car. They held my hands, got me out. And when they got me out, they put me on the side of the road, which was a pavement, and they removed my wood, the clothes they had put on my face. Then the man who was in front, I think was their commander, the one who had come to release me, he gave me 10,000. That this is going to be a transport for us. We are lost. We don't know where we are. We are going. Well, let's find our way, but this one will make you reach home. Then I waited for them to go. They drove off. They continued uphill. down here, there was a boda man coming. I signaled him. He saw me, and he stopped. So I dragged myself slowly. Remember, I had no shoes. The trouser which had been torn, during the day they had removed it from me and gone to sew it. So I was no longer having a torn trouser. A torn trouser. I crossed, and finally, I got on a border. The border, I asked him, you were in which place? But before I could, as I was going, I saw a poster of some lady hanged, and I went to read. It is on Rubaga North. So I knew now I was in Kampala. So I went to the border man to ask him, which place is this one? He said in Namungona, near the Orthodox Church. There is a road called Rosaria. There is another road as you go to Kasubi before you reach Rosaria. That road. I think that road going up, that's where they dropped me. Because I immediately picked the border, we descended and quickly reached in the road, joining Rubiji from Kasubi on Namungona. He took me because I wanted a border who had a phone. Unfortunately, this boy, although he rescued me from this place, he did not have a phone. I told him to stop me at the marketplace of Kawempe. That's Kawempe market is my area. That's where I picked a border who knew my home, who could quickly help me to call. I had no phone. It was late. So I reached, he took me to home. I rang the bell 3 times. I think it terrified the people who were inside. But the confidence also came in that I have dogs at home, very rough dogs. But when I am the one coming, they don't bark. And I think that's how Madame suspected it. So I used the phone of this man, the border man, to call my wife. My wife, when he saw, he answered. And he talked on the phone that I'm the one on the gate. She almost collapsed on the phone. She couldn't believe. At this time of the hour, it was 1:30 when I reached home. They opened the gate, and I entered. Very afraid, very exhausted. Then they called in the doctor, a family doctor, to examine me, to do some medication, urgent medication, and which I think they did, some heavy painkiller injections, and they also took many samples because I narrated what I went through. It went through quickly his mind that we needed to find your blood samples to start testing whether this food which you took, the porridge which you took, which they forced you to take, whether you could have taken poison in it. And now, of course, that is for the medical world. I'm waiting for the results. And this was yesterday night when I was released. So during the day, my wife had reported the case to police. I also went to make a statement where I was to also get the car which had been at police. And it took us almost the whole day. Then I went home, and that's when I called my good friends that I want to address a press conference, because I was hearing people saying Barnabas has abducted himself. I'm not that coward. Under whatever circumstances, I have told the son of the president that does he know that me at my level, I have even told the President Museveni that at my level, as a member of parliament and an advocate of the High Court, even when all those tools are removed from me, I have land I can go and dig. I have said it. And during this period when we have gone for campaigns, I have demonstrated that I am a serious worker. I have planted 31 acres of cocoa. 31 acres of cocoa. Even when I go to campaign, when I return at night, I have bought these long torches of security men. I put on my gumboots, my gloves, and go to look at what happened during the day when I was not there. Which cocoa is drying up that needs replacement, I put sticks on them. Very early in the morning as I wake up, I go to the garden to make sure those things are replaced. I'm not this type of people who cry far. No. I'm self-made. President Museveni did not know me. I have not been pulled by anyone. The one I can praise is my God, who gave me the intellect. That at the time I went to Makerere University, it was the only university where I had to qualify on merit to be sponsored by government. To be sponsored by government. And from there, the story is different. I worked with the First Lady for the first 5 years in dealing with the issues of orphans, widows, and street children. They can check my records. I worked hard. I am not this type who cries far. Even when I came to Parliament, you have seen I am on record. Taking bribes is not my job. You hear members of Parliament asking, where is Rubangati? God is in heaven. He's not anywhere. God is, that's what I tell them. God is in heaven. He's not anywhere. They are looking for Rubangati. Me, I am not in that group. I am not in that group. I have pleaded with the son of the president. That you are a son of the president, me, I'm a son of a peasant. Why are you fighting me? Why are you fighting me? Speaking or not supporting you should not lead you to torture me like this. No, you are torturing very many Ugandans. They are starting to hate us. Me, I'm a Westerner. I have to tell him. I have to tell him. I have met people who say, I don't know where we will hide you, Honorable Tinkasimire. Because when the pangas start yielding, you may also go in. Of course, if they hide me, they may not hide all my children. Where will they cover I don't know where they will find them. I have been privileged to go to US, to go to UK. I have seen the people who have grown in exile with their families. These people who participated in the past regimes and misbehaved. The group of Amin, who thought Amin was everything. Amin was removed. Obote, who thought Obote was everything. Their families have grown in exile. And they are there. They are there. Now we have a regime of President Museveni who has tried to work hard to stabilize this country, to develop this country. And the Ugandans still believe him. Even when he makes a mistake, they say, President Museveni can continue. Now we have his son who thinks he can either overthrow him. Me, I don't know the arrangement. I don't want to say I have had a conversation with the President Museveni where I have said, this is my son. You support him. He has not told me so. So I am still a supporter of President Museveni. Period. Even when I have the chance of meeting Mhozi, I will tell him, behave yourself. You are making us being hated. Use the army within the law. If you have issues with the people and they have committed offenses, take them through the police process. Send the police to arrest them. But this thing of arresting people, taking them, abducting people, kidnapping people, taking them to teach them Runyankole. Who told you that everyone wants to learn Runyankole? I was at Makerere University. The reason why I could not speak for the 3 years in Uganda, every Muganda you would talk to, you do not want, you would speak in English, you would speak in Uganda. So the more you insist on holding people to a particular direction, they resist you. And when they resist you, sometimes the consequences are not good. We want to live in this country where everyone will be happy, where everyone matters. Even the opposition, we must accept that our constitution provides for freedom of speech. We must accept that our constitution provides for multipartyism. If the other people are in a different party and you do not agree with them, it does not guarantee that you should go and persecute them the way he's doing. Even us who are within the political party, you should not think that NRM is a church where the Pope must speak and everyone must continue following. No. In a political party, you have participants who have equal rights, where you can engage. That is the engagement that I want. What President Museveni has taught us, he will engage you, he will bring stories around himself, he will bring ideas and ideology. And he say, don't you think this is a better ideology? And sometimes he convinces you. You may disagree with him, but he will have made his point. That is the type of engagement that I would want to see. And of course, my family and I, we are heavily tortured. We have opted for a civil action. My wife had reported a police case where the police file is complete because I made my statement, and there are a number of statements. I don't know whether they will ever forward it to DPP or they will ever even go, because after knowing whether they will ever go to question General Mohozi to put his opinion on this file, that one, we closed it. But I have assembled my legal team to take on a civil action of fighting for my rights. I do not have, yes, you are very powerful. You can conduct yourself as a deputy god in Uganda, in Uganda, but the courts of Uganda provide that I, the nobody, the son of the peasant, I equally have rights. And I will go to court with my team of lawyers who are here, that they can be enforced. I can get justice. Of course, a civil action largely has to do with penalizing the country, which the army men we are working for. We have evidence, we have already video, I have shared it with your president, showing the army men, although they are hooded, but at least court can know that this is a preserve of UPDF. After recently we passed a law making uniforms of UPDF a preserve of UPDF, so you cannot claim that these were either Barnabas' goons who were hired and we are putting on UPDF uniform. They were carrying guns. I don't even know the shop where they buy guns. I have never hired a gun. My gun is a rosary. It's here. It's here. It is this one. Every time I go to big functions, they ask me, have you carried a gun? I tell them, this is my gun. They laugh. They laugh. But I am very, very serious. This is my gun. I do not have any intention one day of carrying a gun. Even when he has said, those ones who say, when I speak, they are again going to come for me. Even if you come, I have spoken. Come and take me, go and kill me. Please kill me with my rosary. Don't take it away. First check before you shoot me, is my rosary in my pocket? Then shoot me and kill me. I die, but you will also one day die. And I want to thank my family members, largely my wife, my children who prayed with me, my supporters in the constituency. I want to thank, I believe this matter went to the speaker. The speaker must have called the president to intervene, such that I was released at a short notice. The person, one of the persons I am standing with in the constituency, he was telling voters that I am going to be released after elections. After elections. I am glad that I was released at a short notice, and I am going to face off with him. If he thought he's going to run away with the flag, I am sorry. I am sorry, he's going to be defeated. Then there are those ones who say that we know how we are going to deal with the Tinkasimire. Tinkasimire, you can only deal with him through the voters. Tinkasimire, you can only deal with him through an engagement. President Museveni himself has called me, I have talked to him on a number of issues, including the age limit thing. I told him I will not vote for you. I am in Israel. I am praying. I consulted, and the people said I vote alongside with them. I did not bow down even when I talked to the head of state. And that is a leader that I respect. That's why today we are in a party primaries. Every rally that I am holding, I am campaigning for President Museveni, because I may not have the chance again of going to campaign for him there. I am campaigning for him or meeting the same people to vote him in 2026 and even beyond. Because for me, I still think he's a good leader. The age limit, he removed it. So you can't put it before him. It is not part of the law. You will be dealing with the post-mortem. But the choppers, what are you talking about? Even if I use a boda, even if I use a legs to walk, or a bicycle, that man will not survive. I want to tell you the truth. The voters, right. How many voters have ever stepped in a chopper? You just see, but he unfortunately, he comes from a very humble family, where I am sure he ever slept down on the ground without even a mattress. But now, because he's married to a Muzungu and they can sponsor everything, that's not his money. If it was his money, he would think twice about it. He would think about the voters. He would think the welfare of his people. A secondary school, which we started in his constituency, and it collapsed because of the teachers were not paid. How much did he hire the chopper? That was too much money. It would pay fees for so many children.
What's your message?
No, I have said.
Are you supporting him now?
Now I can't be a mad person. I have told you I support President Museveni. As long as President Museveni is standing, he's still my candidate. The issues of supporting Mhozi, I think he also supports his father. I would be mad for you to start saying, I support Museveni, then I have only one vote.
Honorable, since you, Honorable Mama, already do an election, you already have some acts. Absolutely. Could we call this become back? Because we have not been in the scene. So you try to come back.
Which sin? Which sin? Have I not been in Uganda? I've been in Uganda. Which sin? I have told you I have been in my garden. Which sin? Your TVs. I want to ask you. I became a member of parliament. Is there anyone who petitioned me? I was sworn in. I am finishing a term. Have I been declared not to be a member of parliament? You say a member of parliament who has been participating in the parliamentary debates that he is coming back on a political scene. I have been on this scene. Maybe you have been away.